Welcome back. It's Kovacs Report with my good buddy Jimmy X. Yo, so it's another week in comics, Jim. We've got some comics to look forward to. We're going to look at a few books. We're going to spoil them. So if you've not read them, go read them. Come back, watch a video, hit subscribe, give us a like, hit subscribe, hit subscribe, hit subscribe. We really need them. Yeah, we're going to jump straight into it, Jim. Let's cut the chit chat because we've got something special to look at this week.
Oh, hell yeah!
Something very, very special. And do you know what that is? Yes, it is Battle Beast. Now, I've done a solo video of this, but I love the book so much, I wanted to put it in the show as well.
I mean, this was something, wasn't it? I mean, Kirkman and Ottley back in the Invincible universe, where they belong. And it sounds from the letters page like Kirkman wants to keep doing this as well. So
I hope so, Jim, because this was an absolute gem of a book. Should we take a look? Let's take a look. So,
let's take a look.
As I did in my solo video, I also want to praise Annalisa Leone for the colours because they make this pop. And Ross Wotton, I love his lettering. I've done lettering before for my own book years ago, and I know that it's a skill. It really is. So the whole team have done an exemplary job.
The whole band is back together.
It's amazing. I love it. Right, let's talk about it. So we get a little nod to Invincible with his battle with Invincible and Co. Of course, he wins because he's Battle Beast, right? And we jump to space to this stolen ship. Now he's on the ship. He's murdered everybody on the ship, right?
As you do.
And as you do, right? Now let's just do a quick backstory. So Battle Beast is his whole existence is searching the galaxy for an opponent that's worthy of fighting him, right? That's half the story, though. And we do learn some other cool stuff in the book, which is I think he's tired. I think he's tired of fighting. And he actually wants...
you would be, wouldn't you? I mean...
Well, yeah. I mean, he's, he's getting on. I think he wants to find an opponent that can finally put him and his mind and this struggle to an end so he can just die and stop because it is a compulsion. He cannot stop. He cannot stop search the galaxy fighting, and he wins all the time. So I think he's looking for his sort of misery to end. And we're gonna go through the book quite quickly. I don't want to do a page by page analysis. So long story short,
what an awesome design, though, man! It's just like hardcore Thundercats.
It's exactly that, right? And if this was a Lion-O, my friend, I'd be reading that book every week because there's a lot of gore in here. The gore, as I said in the other video, is glorious.
They really ramp that up, don't they?
Oh, it's so good.
But then again, Invincible never shied away from gore. So
no, it didn't.
Anyone
but this is next level.
Video series knows that.
Yeah, they've turned the dial up for gore to like 12. Anyway, so the ship has an AI, and the ship kept quiet for a little bit, and then it spoke to him and said, "Listen, basically, right? Hi, I'm here to help." And he tells it to shut up, and then it waits a while he's eating the bodies of the crew members. And then it plucks up the courage to say, look, I'm here. I was quite fond of that crew, right? But, I'm here to help you. I'm compelled to help you. So if you're looking for this, ultimate warrior, I've got a database of, millions of planets and galaxies, and I can find opponents that may be worthy. And the computer is really honest, but listen, I was fond of that crew, and I'd like to see you die. And he's like, brilliant. Well, then our goals are aligned. Let's do this. So look at those spreads. Look at them. They just look so good. It's badass.
Your Honor, if I can approach the bench for a moment, Kirkman's got a huge line in Disembodied Voices, hasn't he? I mean, he's got the hand droid in Void Rivals, and he also had a hand in Blood and Thunder's Talking Gun as well. He does love a disembodied sassy voice.
He does. And I love the AI. This AI to me is like a fully fledged character, even if it's just words. I love it. So we find an opponent and we get these gorgeous, gorgeous pages from Ryan Ottley. You can tell Ryan is so happy he's back in this universe, right? He's had a little break, but you could tell he's happy to be back there because this is stunning. So we find this first opponent, warrior, and he's this odd-looking alien that's like stuck in, like he's been solidified in this giant block of, I guess, concrete, stone, whatever material is on this planet, right? And he's feigning death because he can't defend himself really. But Battle Beast knows he's pissing around. He's like, right, come on, show yourself, talk. All right, I've come here to speak to you. And they have a little chit chat. He says, look, you free me and we can, We can become friends. I don't know, have a fight, whatever. So he says, I'll free you. But, you know, at the end of the day, he's like, I've been trying to trick you. Ha ha, Battle Beast. But he's like, no, I knew who you were, dude. I knew who you were.
Shock.
Yeah. Let's get down to business, right? And that business is bad. There is lots and lots of fighting and gore. Yeah. And it's glorious. I love the banter between them. It's so good. Look at it. Look at this.
It just felt like the good old days of me reading Invincible again. You know, sign me up for this book. I mean,
I was hooked on page 1.
I'll be here month in, month out for this.
Indeed. So the battle continues, and it looks like this guy's going to get the upper hand on Battle Beast. But you know what? Don't be fooled. Not a chance. So Battle Beast basically kicks the living hell out of him, cuts him in half, and just walks away with an arm. Right? He walks away with the guy's arm. But then there's a little curveball Kirkman throws in. This little weird alien crawls out of him. So was this guy digesting in his stomach? I guess maybe he was. I don't know. And this guy is like, I know, I'm really nice. Please, can you help me? Take me back to my kingdom and I'll reward you. And he doesn't even respond. He just walks back to the ship. And then the ship says, what have you got there? And he says, food. He goes, no, I know what the arm's for. The thing on your shoulder. And he goes, more food. It lives, will stay fresher longer.
Brilliant.
Mate, it blew me away. I love it.
Kirkman, take a bow, man. Take a bow.
One of my favourite books of the week, right? I mean, it was just first class. I was really looking forward to it. And to be honest with you, I never doubted Kirkman, but I wasn't sure what to expect. I thought, well, like, how far can you take this gag? And he took it all the way. And again, it was glorious. It was absolutely glorious. Right. Let's jump into the next book. Right. I'm going to get my little list up, man, because I put a little list of books that we're going to review in the right order. And as with everything, I've lost it. So here we go. No. What we're going to take a look at next is going to be Uncanny X-Men 14, right?
Oh, awesome.
So,
okay.
Full disclosure, I dipped out of it for a little while. I'm not a big X fan. I mean, I'm a Gail Simone fan.
This is true. You're not a big X fan.
But I'm not a big X-Man fan. So
it wasn't. It's all good.
Yeah. You were still friends. So let's switch. I've got a new comic book reader, and it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So what we'll do is,
we're the
first of all,
readers here.
Yeah, no, I've got a digital comic book reader, so I'm gonna actually do a little video about comic book readers because they're game changers. So this one's called Panels, and it's brand new. Usually I use Yak Reader, but Panels has just dropped a Mac OS desktop app, and it's really cool. So back to Uncanny X-Men, right? Gail Simone. So I did dip out, but I jumped back in at number 13 just to catch up with this story, right?
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So first thing first about this book, other than is Gail Simone, right, who we love and adore, is the art. The art on this book is beautiful. David Marquez, like, wow, he really gets it. I absolutely love it. So if you're looking for great art in an X-Men book, right, this is definitely the one.
Marquez is the guy.
Yeah. All right. So we go back in the past and we meet this coloured lady called Miss Henrietta Benjamin, or Henry, as her friends call her. And it is very far back in the days of segregation. It's not great. And she has been living at this home for the coloured, right? Yeah, there we go. And she's left because she's got this little box, I think, with her mother's ashes, let's say, and she's taking it back to this place to spread these ashes and pay all due respects, right? So that's the general story. So she's arrived in New Orleans, not New Orleans. I learnt that in Louisiana, and she's greeted by this other chap who's a friend of a friend, let's just call it, without giving away what happened in the last issue, right? Now she's being sort of tagged by these two white gentlemen who happen to be, in my opinion, the sort of the sentinels of the day, right? The people that are mutant haters, and they're there, the government, and they suspect that something's a bit hooky with her, and that maybe she's might be one of them muties, all right? And it's interesting. So then we jump back to present day, and we're down in the caverns where Yeah. So in the last issue, there's this
amazing.
It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. There's this like a structure that's appeared in the swamp, right? And they're drawn to it, and they've gone down it. They've shown no fear to gain, and they have to gain entry, right? Well, they're going to have to show no fear.
I knew exactly where they were going.
Yeah. That's right. And the Guardian is none other than Swamp Thing, which I thought was a nice little. I didn't expect that at all. So anyway, they introduced themselves. Go on, mate.
It's Man Thing, isn't it?
Man Thing, sorry. Did I say Swamp Thing? Wrong universe.
Wrong universe.
Whoops. Sorry about that. Man Thing. Yeah. Lucky you're here, Jim, to keep me in place. You're like the editor with the little notes, right? I go off on a bloody tangent, and you're like, Jim's editor note. It's actually Man Thing. Right, Man Thing. Yeah, anyway, so they got to show no fear to gain entry to this door that's in there, right? When they're like, what's behind the door? What's behind the door? Okay, so they reveal some things. I mean, it's okay. It's cool. Art's lovely as well. I mean, I keep saying every page is lovely. But there's this second story running through the book, which is good old Gambit. And at the very first issue, they battled a dragon and they took the left eye of Agamotto, right? And yeah. So he's got this thing that he's wearing now, and it's kind of affecting Remy, isn't it? Right? Gambit is feeling the sort of effects of how it's like the One Ring, right? The longer you have it, the worse it gets.
It is going to get worse for him. I think they foreshadowed that.
Yeah. They've absolutely been foreshadowing it. So the dragons turn back up, and that's where he obtained it from. And it was like, you can have it for a year, but you have to bring it back to me. But I'm going to do you a favor, right? Because this thing isn't good for you, and the longer you have it, the worse it gets. You're going to basically turn to cannibalism and start eating all the people that you love. So if you give it back to me now, then that will never happen to you, right? So they go off to the Savage Land, they come back, and as they're flying back, Rogue thinks, what's going on? The dragon's back attacking. So she goes in there, guns blazing, has a big punch up and gets frozen, and the dragon flies off and says, think about what I've said.
You gotta love her. You gotta love Rogue.
Straight character, right? Punch first, ask questions later.
Also, the fact that that Gambit told Sandoran to come back in a year's time, and it's roughly been a year since the first issue was published as well. I thought that was a really nice touch.
I'd say so. Anyway, Wolverine comes out, and he cracks her out the ice, so she's fine. And we jump back to the main part of what's going on with this, which is this young woman, Henry. And here we go. So she's getting closer and closer to this place where she wants to put the ashes of her mother. And then these two sort of sentinels of the time turn up. And basically, you know what happens. They shoot the black guy because they're racist of every kind. And then we find out that she is indeed a mutant. And she shows them how much of a mutant she is. So she turns into this badass looking thing, right? How cool she looks. And the two dudes behind her, man. So she's there. Now, this is really important because she doesn't kill them. All right. She doesn't kill them as pages. And then we jump back to the kids. And the kids, they are at the place where she went in Louisiana. And we learn that she actually built something there, which is this strange artifact obelisk, this place, these rooms that they're in now. And she reveals herself as Lady Henrietta. Now, the story behind this is that she's been collecting the souls of people who have killed mutants. Yeah. So there's potentially, God knows how many souls. It could be thousands and thousands, because obviously she's back in the 1920s, 1900s, right? So there could be lots of angry souls in this. It's a prison for their souls, right? So it's like a purgatory that never ends.
All that prejudice is melted up, and
exactly,
exactly.
But she has to guard the place, and she's brought the kids there because one of them is going to be forced to take her place. So that's where it ends. So do you know what? I dipped out of it. I've dipped back in. What a great story.
Yeah. This is amazing. I love the Outliers. I know you weren't completely fond of them.
I'm not fond. I prefer if it was like classic X-Men. Call me old-fashioned, right? I'm not really fond of these characters. They're cool characters and everything works. So I don't dislike anything about it. Just my preference as an X-Men toe dipper is it. But it's so cool.
To me, I think they're the coolest teen team since the Runaways. And the feel of the writing, it even harkens back to like classic New Mutants. I mean, back when Claremont was Claremont and Simonson were writing New Mutants. That kind of feel. I mean,
they are cool. They're all fully rounded. They've all got their sort of their strengths, their weaknesses. They've all got their secrets. They're great characters.
Yeah. What about the thing with Calico where she admits that her horse. isn't a
Yeah,
horse. A horse died
exactly.
in the fire.
It's a dead version essentially, is it not?
Doesn't
Yeah,
know
where's
what
that?
it is. And that's just terrifying. What
Yeah,
is it?
here. Yeah, she goes, my
Gail,
horse Ember,
hook
my
me
real
in with that
horse, he
mystery.
died in the fire. My
Yeah.
only friend, he died. I don't know what that thing outside is. So we're introducing something else there, quite not so subtly, but still subtle enough for you to go, okay, and then get drawn back into the main story that's going here. So I think that's going to come back
And
to
with the
haunt
main
them.
story, let's not forget that one of them has been prophesied to be the endling, the end of mutant kind. You know, the last. Yeah, I can't
Well,
wait to
someone
see-
with an army of angry souls that can be weaponized might just be that person, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Sandarang says that he doesn't know who the endling is, but he senses female energy, and yeah, so
that narrows
I
it
don't
down,
know.
doesn't
I
it?
mean,
It's one of the girls.
Smart
I
money will be
guess.
Calico, but that's why I think Gail's going to throw a curveball and it'll be Jitter.
She's got to throw a curveball,
or
right?
it could be any of the other two. It could be anyone. We don't know.
Do you know what? She
Can't
might.
wait to find
Rogue might get turned. Who knows? Right? That's another curveball I hadn't thought of until about then.
Well,
but yeah,
okay.
Good book, right? Good book.
Yeah, loving Uncanny X-Men. Loved every issue so far.
Yeah, I'm back on the title now.
Well done,
I've
Gail.
got to
Well done,
know. I've
David.
got to know what happens next.
Great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely got to know what happens next. Okay, let's move on to our next book. It's gonna be a quick show this week. A quick show, which is One World Under Doom.
Mm-hmm.
One World Under Doom, Jim. So this has been touted as the big Marvel event, right? The big Marvel event. But to be honest with you, I'm going to say something negative here, constructively. Why? This book isn't really doing anything, really. Okay,
you're not wrong, man. I mean, it started. In my opinion, it started strong, and the thing losing his powers has been the most interesting thing that's happened in this.
Being
book.
reverted back to a human. Yeah.
I'm completely behind you there.
Do you know what? If you didn't know this book was here, you wouldn't know it was happening, right? So Ryan North is I don't think Ryan North knows what his story is.
I don't know either.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He's kind of writing this thing and kind of like not really sure
so many threads
what to do.
And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I've already gone on the record to say I really didn't like the last issue, and I'm afraid this one didn't change my mind either.
No. Well, let's jump into this one. This whole issue essentially is Doom fighting the sort of reveal of the other villain behind what's going on, Dormammu, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this whole issue is just him fighting him through various ways.
Well, it may as well have been Sword in the Stone. You know, the classic
it's Gandalf and Saruman, right? It's just
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, page after page of this fight, which normally you might go, wow, this was great, but nothing's invested. Nothing's happening in the Marvel U.
It reminded me of the anime Dragon Ball Z, where the two people fight and it just builds up over and over and over and nothing happens. That's how it reminded me of.
But that's literally the whole review, apart from the end part. So anyway, the end part is Dormammu's got the upper hand. You know, Doom is everything close to being defeated. It's the final moments. He strips him of some of his armor and everything else. But at the last second, right, while this battle was going on, Doom's final spell opened up a portal to bring back the Avengers, and now the Avengers are being forced to fight with Doom.
Yeah. Against
I'm like, okay, bored. I was just bored. It wasn't like oh my God, how terrible. It was just like, okay, thanks.
I mean, I've always gone to bat for Ryan North. I love this Unbreakable Squirrel Girl. I think it's Fantastic Four stuff. He's doing really interesting stuff with it. And I can't wait for Crypto. I'm sure that's going to be beautiful with Jay Lee.
Jay Lee's one of my all-time favourite artists, so it's going to be great for the art alone.
Honestly, I can't defend this book. I don't know what happened.
No.
I'll pick up the next issue and see if it picks up, but I really don't know, Ryan.
No, but the whole thing as well, Jim, is everything that the Avengers have done. It's been like, oh look, we've exposed you, like, and then Doom's gone, oh look, actually, it was a trick. You've been exposed to the world on social media. I'm like, using social media and news in a comic's really difficult. Like Frank Miller got it right with Dark Knight Returns, you know, but here it just felt like this was aimed at Gen Z's, Gen Alphas, whatever the latest generation is. It didn't feel like this is a comic book aimed at comic readers at all. I'm so disappointed because it's Doctor Doom, man. Is he not like one of the quintessential villains of the Marvel U? I don't mean a character specific like Bullseye to Daredevil, Goblin, Green Goblin, Spider. I mean universe, the whole universe.
When he's written well, you can. I mean, look at Hickman's Secret War.
If only we could have those. Right. So yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't recommend this.
No, I can't either. And it's sad because I was really looking forward to Doctor Doom.
Same.
So, Jimmy, did you read? I know it's really weird. We're agreeing with everything today. Usually I'm the bad cop, but like this week I got backup. Supergirl. Now I like Supergirl. My good friend many years ago was part of the reboot. Ian Churchill did some covers and some beautiful art for it. And I think I've got a bit of a soft spot for Supergirl, haven't you?
Yeah. I like the Michael Turner and Jeff Loeb stuff. That was really cool. I think Tom King did a really cool run on Supergirl, didn't he?
If I missed that, but again, I'm not a huge DC fan.
It's a Black Label thing, but no, it's the same creative team as Helena Winhorn. So I need to go back and check that out.
Yeah, the Black Label books are really good. I like them. They're a bit darker.
I mean that run is getting a movie based on it, or a TV show from James Gunn. So yeah.
All right, well, that's something to talk about when we find out more. Then, for sure. All right, Supergirl. Sophie Campbell, Tamra Bonvillain. Now, this book was definitely not what I expected. So I think for me, it's a mixed bag. And I'm going to explain that, right? The art is really nice. Okay? Yeah. The art is really nice. I love the art.
But
it wasn't what I expected, but I really liked it. So I'm going to quickly go through the story. So essentially, Supergirl... she decides to go home. There's a little story at the beginning with the bottle, but we can skip that for now, right? Anyway, she decides to go back home. Huh?
Don't forget Crypto. He's so hot right now.
Yeah, Crypto is cool. I wonder why. Look, there's this little preamble at the beginning that just shows the kind of person she is and everything else. She's caring and thoughtful and all this kind of jazz, but we'll just skip that because the main story is this. So she decides to go back to Midvale to see, essentially, mum and pop, right? And she hasn't been back for quite some time. Now, when she gets back, she discovers that Midvale has gone Supergirl mad. And if you'll notice on this billboard, there is a picture of a very different body type Supergirl. And she's like, well, this is a bit strange. So she goes further into the town and she notices that there's Supergirl everywhere. Everyone's mad about Supergirl. And one of her friends turns up and goes, oh, hi, you're home and everything else. And then this car comes around the corner and she decides to save her friend. So she quickly spins into her costume, whips her away. And then people start coming out and going, this isn't Supergirl. This is an imposter. Who are you? She's like, well, I'm Supergirl. And then another curvier Supergirl turns up with a rabbit instead of Crypto saying, oh, you're an imposter. You're an imposter. And she uses these devices, not powers. We don't know how she's flying. Probably another device. These devices to sort of embarrass Supergirl and prove to the town that she's the real Supergirl, and then flies off, ta-ta for now. And then it's like, okay, so there is an imposter there that's pretending to be Supergirl. And then we move into the house where her mum and pop are, and they don't know who she is. They're like, who are you? She goes, well, I'm your daughter. And then the more curvier Supergirl in her, civilian clothes, walks down and goes, oh, I'm Linda Danvers. Who are you? And she's like, no, you're not. What's going on? And that's the story. So this book, lovely art. I tell you one thing about it that I didn't like was it's so wordy. Honestly, you need to set aside 45 minutes to get through the amount of dialogue. And it is so... there's everything is explained every step of the way. Now, listen.
Yeah,
this is definitely aimed at tweens, right? This is not a book for your average comic book reader, right? No, this is for tweens. It is aimed at a very specific audience, and for that specific audience, they'll love it. Now, I'm not that specific audience, so I don't love it. Now, the writer is actually trans writer, so that's probably why some of these issues are in this book, and that's absolutely fine. So I'm not saying that's a negative point. I'm just explaining why this book is the way it is and who it's aimed for. So I don't think this has a wide appeal. I think this is very targeted to a certain demographic. And you know what? If that's your demographic, you're going to love it. It's nice to look at. It's you know, an average story where it's like there's an imposter. Goddamn Scooby-Doo! I'll find out who you are. That kind of thing. And that's it. You know. But the art, I love the art. I love the art. That's it, isn't it, Jim? There's not much else to report about it.
I did like the bit where she had to stop the super cat, Streaky the super cat, from knocking off the bottle of Candor onto the floor.
Oh yeah, at the beginning. I skipped over that part because I thought it
was quite funny. Streaky the super cat. Come on, James. God, make Streaky the super cat cool. Let's see.
You never know. You never know. But yeah, and the rabbit's cool too. But yeah, that's it really. I mean, it was all right. Yeah,
it was okay.
Yeah. Would I read issue 2? Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay, last book on the list. Right. So I threw a curveball into you this week. Mm-hmm. I threw a book genre that you don't usually like, do you?
I mean, you say that, but I'm a huge Dexter fan. You know that.
Yeah, but you don't really read a lot of horror comics, right? That's more my domain. And let's jump into it. So I picked this up last month. This is issue 2. And I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was mind-blowingly amazing, but I thought it was okay to give it a second issue. And you know what? It's really growing on me. I find it quite fun. So essentially, the title is exactly what you get. I was a fashion school serial killer. So our main character here, I'm terrible at remembering names of characters at the moment, right? She's a student at a prestigious fashion school, okay? A very prestigious fashion school. And unbeknownst to her fellow students and the teachers and professors, she's a serial killer. And the material she gets from the bodies of her victims, she makes into her outfits. So she's also very, I guess, but she's one of those introvert, so she's not good at making friends, but she is making friends. One in particular is one of those really upfront, I'm going to be your friend and you're going to be my friends. So she starts softening a little bit to her rather than imagining, you know, skinning her alive and making a pencil skirt from it. And that's essentially what this is a book about, right? So she gets invited out to go to the cinema, and I think there's going to be a romance growing. So I think there's a bit of a romance growing between this friend and that. She goes to the cinema. She likes the fact that it makes her feel good. And they get another day at school where she's, whenever she gets that urge to kill, she gets this itch that she has to scratch, and it gives her a rash and makes her bleed. But then her friend knocks on the door later that night and says, I'm a door dasher, basically. And these 3 guys I was delivering to, they tried to sexually assault me, basically. And she's like, right, go sort out and give me your phone. So she finds out the address, and then she turns up and just murders them. I love it. So like the 2 sticks through the eyes, and then the other guy's taking a piss. She just rips his throat out, and you get this guy here, which just literally clean cuts the top of his head off. And then she bathes in their blood.
Yeah. I thought it was great.
You liked it?
Really enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed.
Oh, amazing!
Devil Wears Prada kind of thing, where she's trying to impress the teacher, the fashion teacher. That was brilliant. I love the whole Mean Girls aesthetic as well. And you know, obviously, I've always had a soft spot for serial killer stuff. I'm enjoying the other Image book at the moment as well. Was it Tyler Boss's You'll Do Bad Things? That's really cool.
Yeah, I read the first one. I liked it. I'm going to do a review of the second one. I'm onto that.
I will definitely keep picking this one up. This is really, really fun. Thanks for the recommendation, man. My
absolute pleasure, my friend. So, book of the week out of the books that we reviewed on the show only, right? Mm-hmm. Show only books. What's been? I think I know. I think we're going to get a double whammy, right? What's your book of the week?
My book of the week is Invincible Universe Battle Beast issue 1, because I had so much goddamn fun with it.
My book of the week is Battle Beast. Honestly, I hope this turns into, if not an ongoing, at least a long series, because it is fun. It is fun. Okay, so that's this week. What are we looking forward to next week? Let me see what I've got on my list, Jim, while you find yours. Amazing Spider-Man 4, Detective Comics. We've got Fantastic Four. We've got Spider-Man Wolverine debuting, The Thing debuting. We've got Vision Scarlet Witch, which I don't have much hope for. And we've got We Only Go Out When It Gets Dark, which was due this week, but been delayed to next week. And then we've got Whatever Happened to Crimson Justice. There's loads of new number ones. And then some big books chucked in for good measure, like, Amazing Fantasy, Fantastic Four. So I'm looking forward to those.
Yeah,
what about you?
For me, Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu, Jed MacKay continues his amazing run with Moon Knight. I can't wait to read that. Bug Wars issue 4.
Bug Wars.
Jason Aaron.
Yes.
Jason. I mean, if we can't get a hold of an issue of Bug Wars, we should do a separate video on it, because I mean, we need to talk about Bug Wars.
We need to talk about Bug Wars. Yeah, we do. 'Cause it is brilliant, isn't it? It's so much fun.
Spider-Man and Wolverine issue 1. The team up book with Mark Guggenheim and Care Andrews. I think
that's the one that's on my list that I mentioned. I'm definitely up for that one.
And Superman Unlimited issue 1 with Dan Slott and Raphael.
That slips under my radar because I'm not a big Superman fan, but definitely we need to review that 100%.
I'll tell you something. If you want a taster, go back and read Summer of Superman special, because that's a one shot. I recommend anybody pick this up as well if you're going to follow that. It's co-written by Mark Waid, Dan Slott, and Joshua Williamson. And it's a really nice primer for what's happening.
So that's what about this whole event. That's the beginning of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Because Mark Waid's going back on Action Comics, and he's going to tell Superboy stories from his time when he was a teenager.
Okay, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's our quick show of the week. We blasted through it because it's one of those weeks where time is limited, but we still wanted to review some books. Those are our thoughts. Let us know yours, and please subscribe to the channel. And if you do like the video, just give it a little like. Just hit that subscribe button. It takes seconds for you to do it, but it means so much to us. So until the next time, just say goodbye, Jim.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Take care, guys.